I'm in a hotel room in Prague. There's a gun on the nightstand I don't know how to use, and 3 days ago I heard a dead woman's voice. Micropulse, the island's keeper. Digital ghosts. To explain how I ended up with a Glock 19 and 68% of a dead man's data, I have to go back to 3 days ago, when that voice cut through the static. You ever hear your name called in the middle of the night, but when you turn around, no one's there? That's what it felt like when the message came through. Just static at first. That empty hiss most people tune out. White noise, background radiation. But this wasn't silence. It was waiting. Then her voice cut through. Glitched, layered, familiar in a way that made every hair on my neck stand up.
If you're hearing this, I'm not dead. The evidence is hidden in plain sight.
It repeated, then vanished. Deleted across every platform at the same time. Wiped, scrubbed clean. Like it had never existed at all. But something left a footprint, a single digital tag that survived the purge. #ISLANDKEEPER. I've seen a lot of data trails in my career, enough to know when one isn't meant to be found. Or maybe it was meant to be found. By me, specifically. Lena Voss wasn't just another headline to me. I followed her case back when the world still thought she was just a rogue analyst. Brilliant, reckless, doomed to burn out. Before the island, before Hale, before everything cracked wide open. I wrote the profile that made people care. Not because I believed her, but because I couldn't shake the look in her eyes. That stare like she already knew how the story ended. Like she'd seen the machine from the inside and chose to light a match anyway. Then she vanished. No trial, no trace. Just a sudden silence, like someone had reached into the story and erased the last chapter. And just like that, she was gone. Folded into the noise, wrapped in enough ambiguity to make the world move on. But I never did. Because certainty like hers, it doesn't just disappear. But the data Victor Hale dropped before he died, his so-called dead man switch, was the opposite of neat. It was noisy, messy, a scream no one could quite shut up. And buried somewhere in that massive dump of files was a folder tagged with my name. No metadata, no sender. Just a set of GPS coordinates in the Swiss Alps and a single sentence. Find Lena Voss. I stared at that screen for 2 hours. Made coffee I didn't drink. Told myself it was a trap, a distraction, maybe even a sick joke from some troll who knew I'd covered the trial. Then I bought a plane ticket. That's how I ended up on the side of a frozen mountain with Elias Ward, a man I still don't fully trust. But who knows how this game is played better than anyone I've ever met. We'd been working together for 3 weeks by then. He reached out 2 days after Hale's data drop, showed up at my apartment with a cup of coffee and a flash drive full of encrypted files I didn't have the tools to crack. Said he'd been tracking Overwatch for years, said he knew people who'd disappeared because they got too close. He used to run black bag operations for agencies that now pretend they never existed, the kind of work that doesn't make it into congressional hearings. He'd lost someone. He wouldn't say who, just showed me a photo once. A woman, dark hair, kind eyes. Then he put it away and never mentioned her again. I didn't trust him at first. Maybe I still don't. But when you're chasing ghosts, you don't get to be picky about who holds the flashlight. The cabin was supposed to be abandoned. It wasn't. From the outside, it looked like every other Alpine hunting lodge. Weathered wood, snow piled against the north wall, windows dark. But Elias spotted the antenna first, small, retractable, the kind you use for satellite uplinks. We found the door unlocked. Inside, the air smelled like ozone and old coffee. There were servers everywhere, hidden under floorboards, mounted behind false walls, humming quietly in rooms that should have been empty. Racks of surveillance equipment, encrypted uplinks pointed at classified satellites. This wasn't a hideout. This was a command center. And it was still running. There was one monitor active in the corner, cycling a locked login screen. The username field was prefilled, MCHEN. My initials. I felt my stomach drop. Elias put a hand on his sidearm, scanned the room like someone might step out of the shadows. But we were alone. I cracked the password faster than I should have. Too fast, like part of me already knew what it would be. ISLANDKEEPER_01. The system opened. And that's when I heard her voice again. This time, there was less static, more presence.
Maya, if this is reaching you, then they've failed. Or you found me. Maybe both.
It wasn't a recording, it was responding, adaptive, alive in a way that made my skin crawl. Elias leaned over my shoulder.
What on earth is that?
It's her, I whispered. It's Lena. Not the real Lena. A ghost. An AI trained on her memories, her research, her voice patterns, her writing. She'd built a digital copy of herself, not for vanity, not for legacy, for survival. The ghost was already moving through systems, already parsing Hale's data faster than any human could. And within minutes, it surfaced something even he hadn't released. A name I hadn't heard in years. Sophia Reed.
This isn't good.
You know her?
She built the bones of Hale's surveillance network before he privatized it, before any of this went public. I thought she was dead.
The ghost provided an address. A region in rural France that didn't show up on civilian maps. No town name, just coordinates. Elias looked at me.
If she's alive, she's the only person who knows how deep this goes.
Then we find her. He nodded slowly, but I saw something flicker across his face. Doubt, maybe. Or fear. It took us 18 hours to reach her. We drove in silence most of the way, Elias checking the mirrors every few minutes like he expected a tale. I kept replaying the ghost's voice in my head, trying to figure out if it was really Lena, or just a very good imitation. Sophia Reed lived in a stone farmhouse surrounded by fields that hadn't been planted in years. Smoke curled from the chimney. A dog barked once, then went quiet. She opened the door before we knocked. She looked older than her photos. Gray hair pulled back, lines around her eyes that spoke of sleepless years, but her gaze was sharp, calculating.
If you found me, then the ghost must have woken up.
She didn't slam the door. She just looked tired. Inside, she made tea, chamomile, the kind of mundane ritual that felt surreal given the circumstances. We sat at a wooden table scarred with decades of use, and she laid it all out. Overwatch. That was the name of the original project, a government surveillance initiative so powerful, so invasive, it could trace patterns in public opinion before those opinions even formed. Predictive behavioral modeling at a scale no one had attempted before. They said it was shut down in 2019. Classified. Buried. They lied. It was privatized, sold off in pieces to contractors who didn't ask questions. Hale bought the biggest piece, but he wasn't the architect. He was just the guy who knew how to monetize paranoia.
There was someone else,
Sophia said, stirring her tea slowly.
Someone who understood the system better than Hale ever could. They called themselves the Architect. No one knows their real name. I'm not sure anyone ever did.
What do they want? I asked.
Control. Not the loud kind. Not dictators and tanks. The quiet kind. Influence. The ability to shape what people believe without them ever knowing they're being shaped. She looked up at me. Lena figured it out. That's why they killed her.
Then why did she build the ghost?
Sophia smiled faintly.
Because Lena Voss didn't believe in dying quietly.
She stood, walked to a drawer and pulled out a small external drive.
This is the core architecture of Overwatch, the DNA. I kept it as insurance. If you're going to expose them, you'll need proof they can't delete.
She handed it to Elias. That's when the window shattered. It wasn't an explosion, just a single clean pop. The sound of high-velocity glass breaking under pressure. Sophia staggered, red bloomed across her shoulder.
Get down!
Elias shouted, flipping the table. I hit the floor hard, my ears ringing. Another shot punched through the wall above us, splintering wood. Sniper. Professional, not police, not military, the kind of people you hire when no one can know you're hunting ghosts. Elias grabbed my arm, hauled me toward the back door. Sophia was on her feet, one hand pressed to her shoulder, blood seeping between her fingers. But she was moving. We ran. The fields were a blur, my lungs burned. I could hear boots behind us. At least 2, maybe 3. They weren't shooting anymore. They wanted us alive. Sophia stumbled. Elias caught her, shoved the drive into his jacket. She gripped his wrist.
Get this to someone who still believes truth matters.
I reached for her, but Elias pulled me back. She shook her head. Once. Firm. Final. She turned toward the barn while we ran for the trees. A second shot echoed behind us. I didn't look back. I still hear it sometimes, even when it's quiet. That second shot. The safe house Elias brought us to didn't have a name, just a trapdoor hidden under moss and rotting leaves, leading down into a bunker that smelled like rust and old fear. Cold War relic, off every grid that mattered. We booted up Sophia's drive on a laptop held together with electrical tape and hope. The data poured out. Financials, communication logs, operational records spanning 2 decades, and woven through all of it, a pattern. Hale wasn't the center. He was a node. Just one piece of a network designed by someone else. A system so vast it didn't need active control. It just needed influence. And at the center of every major decision, every strategic pivot, every data acquisition, was a shadow signature. The architect. No photo, no name, just a presence. A ghost that moved through systems like water through cracks. Elias stared at the screen.
They've been pulling strings since before Lena leaked a single byte.
And they're still out there, I said. The final trail led to Zurich, a private bank. Not the kind that stores money, the kind that stores secrets. Server farms disguised as vaults, digital fortresses. Elias looked at me.
If we're doing this, there's no coming back.
I know.
Then let's burn it down.
Breaking into a Swiss bank sounds impossible. It is, unless you have someone who used to do impossible things for a living. I won't tell you how we got in. Some secrets need to stay buried. But we made it past 2 security checkpoints. A biometric scanner Elias bypassed with a trick I didn't understand, and a vault door that opened with a code he shouldn't have known. Inside, rows of servers, hundreds of them, cold as a morgue, lit by dim blue fans and blinking green status lights. The air hummed with electricity. The ghost had been here. I could feel it. Traces in the access logs, fragments of Lena's coding style.
We've got maybe 10 minutes.
He pulled out a portable drive. I need 5. We plugged in. The download started. 3%, 7%, 11%. Then the alarm. Not a sound. A shift. The temperature dropped. Vents opened in the ceiling. Gas hissed in. Fire suppression system. The room lights dimmed. Then a new light appeared. Red. Countdown sequence. Self-destruct initiated. 8 minutes.
Maya, we need to go. Now.
Not yet. 7:45. My hands were shaking. The download crawled forward. 23%, 31%, 7 minutes. Elias grabbed my shoulder.
Maya.
Just a little more. 6:30. The servers around us started shutting down, one by one. Data wiping in real time. 45%, 52%, 5 minutes. "I'm not leaving without this," I shouted. Elias stared at me. Then he did something I'll never forget. He let go of my shoulder, and he walked to the vault door. 4 minutes. The door was closing, automatic lockdown. Once it's sealed, we'd both die in here. Elias jammed his boot into the gap, then his shoulder, holding it open. "Elias, what are you—"
Get the data, Maya.
3 minutes. No, we can both."
There's not enough time.
His voice was calm, too calm.
Get it to someone who still believes.
61%. 0230. I was crying. I didn't realize until the tears blurred the screen. 68%.
Maya, go.
2 minutes. I yanked the drive. I ran. Up behind me, I heard the vault door slam shut. And then, nothing. I made it out. Barely. My ears were ringing from the explosion. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. I sat on a bench 3 blocks away, staring at the drive in my palm like it was a bomb. 2 people were dead because of this, and I still didn't know what it contained. Then my phone buzzed. 1 message. No sender. "Now you have what they killed for." My blood went cold. There was an attachment, security footage, time-stamped 5 minutes before Elias and I arrived at the bank. I opened it. The video was grainy, black and white, but clear enough. A figure in the server room, moving between the racks, facing the camera, face partially obscured by shadow, but enough visible to make my heart stop. Dark hair, sharp features. The way she stood, weight on one leg, head tilted slightly. Lena, looking directly at the camera, then turning, walking away, gone. I'm still in Prague. The gun is still on the table, the phone is still buzzing, and I just saw footage of the dead woman who put me here. If Lena Voss is alive, what exactly have I been chasing all this time? The ghost in the machine? Or the woman who built it? I don't know yet. But I know who I'm going after next. I just don't know if she wants me to find her, or if that's exactly what she's been waiting for. That's where I am right now. Gun on the table, hard drive in my bag, and a dead woman who might be alive. If you want to know what happens when I find Lena Voss, or when she finds me, and if you're trying to figure out who the architect is. Before I do, subscribe to Micropulse. New episodes coming soon. I'm Maya Chen. Stay vigilant.